This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to talk about Jihaad Campbell. Is he an inside linebacker or is he playing the edge? Because I'm hearing the comparisons to Micah Parsons and Abdul Carter. Also, we got to talk about Andrew Mukuba. Andrew Mukuba is a Philadelphia Eagle, but did the Eagles reach? We're going to talk about that. And lastly, Fangio, we see the vision. It's all versatility, right? But let's get straight into it. All right, man, before we hop straight into it, want to talk about some jersey number changes. So Jihaad Dawson finally changed that ugly, 83 number to number 2. So Jihaad Dawson officially takes Slay number and Keely Ringo, who number I like for his position, but he stole Kenny Pickett number 7. So I like it. I like the jersey number changes. All right, so let's get into the main topics. Let's talk about Jihaad Campbell. So I seen a lot of comments and it was hard to respond to them, to be honest. And a lot of people's coming at me like, why do you think Dean's spot is taken? Because Jihaad Campbell's gonna play the edge. So I try to do as much research as possible. And I know where y'all getting this from. Y'all getting it from Howard Roseman. But actually, let me play the clip before I go over my research.
I think we'll go through that here. But this is a guy who was recruited from IMG at Alabama as an edge rusher, hand and dirt edge rusher. They had some injuries at Alabama. They played him off the ball. You see his explosiveness and his speed. And really, you know what, it's kind of interesting, and we talked about this a lot. You know, you see it. You see Penn State give them a lot of credit for what they've done. They've had guys off the ball move to edge rushers. Obviously, their last 2 guys who've been drafted really high, they started off the ball and they moved to edge rushers. Vic does a tremendous job with getting guys who have pass rush ability to be versatile players like that. And I think what's really fun is that those guys who have that versatility, who can go out on the edge and get pressure as a rusher, and he's got speed, he's got power as an edge rusher, he was trained as an edge rusher, and then he's got the versatility to play off the ball and blitz from depth and play in space, in pass coverage, as an off-ball linebacker. And so the things that you can do and keep all these players on the field. So for us, you know, it's just, we always want to improve the front 7, and we view him as a front 7 player who's got incredible versatility and a skill set to do both those things. And the appeal is that he's got this rush skill set, and he's 21 years old. He turned 21 on February 24th. So you know, like, he's got upside to grow and get bigger, and his frame is such that he can put on more weight and more strength. And so, as you can tell, excited about the player.
Okay, I get it. Howard Roseman said that, you know, he's versatile. He can play edge, compared them to Micah Parsons and Abdul Carter. So I seen the comparison on Twitter, and honestly, the comparisons are almost identical. So Jihaad Campbell, Micah Parsons, Abdul Carter, you see they all 6'3", around the same weight. Jihaad Campbell's more underweight, 235. Micah Parsons is 246, and Abdul Carter is 250. Wingspan, Jihaad Campbell, 80-inch wingspan, 78 for Micah Parsons and 79 for Abdul Carter. The 40-yard dash, Abdul Carter 4.52, Micah Parsons 4.36, and Jihaad Campbell 4.52. All the RAS scores are really, really good, except Abdul Carter. He doesn't have one. Then the sacks, we know Abdul Carter's through the roof, but we got Jihaad Campbell here, who had 5 sacks, and Micah Parsons, who had 5 sacks at the time. So, again, the numbers are very similar, but what stand out to me is the weight, because 15 pounds lighter than Abdul Carter, that's something. When you get to those 10 pounds or lighter, that means something. 10 pounds can be between 200 and 190. So, again, Jihaad Campbell is a bit undersized to me to be a primarily edge rusher. And it's not like Vic Fangio was saying this, because Howie Roseman been wrong about the positions on the defensive side for quite some time. He even admitted with the Zach Bond thing, oh, I thought he was going to be some edge rusher, special teams ace. Vic Fangio said, nah, he's not going to be that. We're going to turn him into this. So It's all about what Vic Fangio saying, what Vic Fangio do during the OTAs and training camps. We'll see how Jihaad Campbell is used. But I think you get the best out of him from looking at the film is inside linebacker, in my personal opinion. Now, I tried to see like, okay, people keep saying he played this edge rusher. How many snaps he played that edge in college, and how many snaps he played that inside linebacker as well. So I found that. Shout out to Brandon Lee Gowton. These are the numbers. So this is snap count. So at linebacker, 11 to 1, that's 2022. 2023, 456 at linebacker and 43 at defensive line. 2024 had 637 snaps at linebacker and 112 at defensive line. D line just mean edge in general. And then Zach Mon in 2024, which Brandon Lee Allen did a really good job putting this out there, he had 831 at linebacker and 160 at defensive line for the Eagles. So it's just safe to say, man, compared to the numbers, the research, I believe he's going to play inside linebacker. Even when he first came into the facility, he was greeted by Bobby King, our linebacker coach, but he also was greeted by our edge coach, the guy that coaches the edges. So I think inside linebacker for sure, and that's why I say it's Nakobe Dean in trouble because this guy is really good. This guy got the potential of being better than Zach Bond. They just drafted another Zach Bond, which is crazy. It's insane, man. So again, man, I think he's going to be an inside linebacker. And then when you look at just the people, so at edge, we already had Nolan Smith, Jalen Hunt, Aziz Ojolari, Joshua O'Shea. We picked back up Patrick Johnson. So we got a lot of guys at edge. But when you look at linebacker, let's be honest, you really only have Zach Mon and Trotter Jr. and you have an injured Nakobe Dean. That's all you really have. Because Barry Sumaran is officially a fullback. So we need help actually at inside linebacker. That's what I think he's going to be. But I think he's going to line up from time to time. But full time as edge, absolutely not based on the research I found. But hey, I could be wrong on that. But let's speak about another draftee, Andrew Mukuba. So Andrew Mukuba is officially drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, if you type in Eagle Owl, Andrew Mukuba, I talked about Andrew Mukuba probably like 2 weeks ago, and there was a report out there that the Eagles really like Andrew Mukuba, who's really similar to CJ Gardner Johnson. And if you look at the comparisons, they are really similar. Ball hawks to even being undersized. I believe CJ is like 5'10, Andrew Mukuba is like 5'11. Andrew Mukuba is also 186. I think CJ was like 190. They both somewhat have the same problem. Now, CJ allowed a lot of touchdowns, which I don't think Andrew Mukuba allowed any at all. But their big problem is tackling because they undersized, but they play with a lot of heart and spirit, and they got that character. But it was really like the tackling inconsistencies. Now, with CJ Gardner Johnson, he picked it up towards the end of the season and mid-season far as tackling. I think Vic Fangio could fix that with Andrew Mukuba. Now, a lot of people think this was a reach as well. Say like, yo, you have Watts on the board, you have Kevin Winston Jr. You guys do. I wanted Kevin Winston Jr. and I was cool with Andrew Mukuba, but I just didn't see it as second round. I'm like, okay, second round we might get Edge. That third round, Andrew Mukuba, or we might trade back and get Andrew Mukuba because he was still on people big board like in the 70s. We picked him at 64, so that's the problem with everybody. I think this is a solid pick. Not gonna say I hate the pick. Not gonna say I'm falling in love with it. It's just extremely solid. And now if he pan out and be really, really good, I'm cool with it because the last reach was Jalen's Hunt. People were like, yo, Jalen's Hunt, we probably could have got him in the fifth. But Vic Fangio loved Jalen's Hunt. And he was like, nah, we got to go get him now. And that's exactly what we did. And I'm assuming He ain't even want to even take a risk with Andrew Mukuba possibly going. He like, nah, he on the board now. Let's go get him now. And that's exactly what we did. So this is a wait and see it before we judge. Now, as Eagle Owl today, I am still a Sidney Brown guy. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I want Sidney Brown to win the job. I see more Andrew Mukuba as a future type thing, and let the best safety win. Because at the end of the day, I am an Eagles fan. If Andrew Mukuba is the best guy now, cool. But I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Yeah, I know I'm a Sidney Brown guy. I've been saying Sidney Brown. I love Sidney Brown coming out the draft, and now Sidney Brown should be hitting his stride right now. Because if he don't get it now, he's not going to get it. He's not going to get it. Sidney Brown will be with another team. Let me play this clip from TikTok just to give y'all an idea on how Andrew Mukuba play. I think I played this in my last videos, but I mean play it again for the people that didn't see that Andrew Mukuba video.
Unequivocally, undoubtedly, I'm in love with Andrew Mukuba. I love watching him play. I know the term five-tool player is typically a baseball term, but Andrew Mukuba easily fits the five-tool player mold. Staying on the baseball side, his range and his IQ is unparalleled. His range and IQ reminds me of 2010's GOAT Kevin Pillar. Like a great five-tool player, his versatility is unmatched, and he proved that both at Clemson and at Texas. The Andrew Glaze train is not leaving the station. He probably has the best instincts out of this whole safety class, and he's incredibly smart. He always finds a way to be in the right place at the right time, and that's not by accident. A great example of Andrew's intelligence is here against Georgia. Georgia's going to run a dagger concept, and Andrew's going to peel back and intercept the dig route, jumping right in front of the receiver. Another strength that Andrew has that a lot of other players in this class don't have is how good they are downhill. Andrew is a monster when he's coming downhill. He reminds me of a little ankle biter, and I want little ankle biters in my secondary and on my team. His ability to close downhill and his closing speed when he's going downhill is unstoppable. He's like Bullet Bill from Mario Kart. Some guys, whenever you watch them, they just have this natural feel, this sixth sense for the game, and Andrew has that, and he has it to the highest degree. Every single year, defensive coordinators go into the draft looking for guys that can change their team, create more turnovers, create more havoc, and no one can do that better than Andrew. I'm telling you, no one. My favorite landing spot for Andrew is probably Baltimore. I know that sounds incredibly greedy because it is, but having him and Kyle Hamilton as your safety duo, get the lotion.
See, that's what you get out of him. To me, he does have the best instincts, far as in the draft. Like I think even better than like the Malachi Stars, even the Kevin Winston Juniors and stuff like that. His instincts on causing turnovers and getting interceptions, I don't think it's no better than Andrew Mukuba. So hopefully it translates into the NFL. All right, Vic Fangio, I definitely see the vision. You love the versatile guys. You really, really do. And to the Zach Bonds of the world, to even the Jihaad Campbells, Quinyon Mitchell could play outside and inside. Cooper DeJean, people still believe he could play safety outside and as a slot corner. Andrew Mukuba, to be honest, if we want to be technical, if he don't make it at safety, he could at least be like a backup inside slot type guy. So you could do a lot with Andrew Mukuba because he played a lot of snaps in the slot, but I like the vision of Vic Fangio. These are healthy discussions. I know a lot of you guys were coming at me about the Jihaad Campbell thing, but it's a really healthy discussion because he's really versatile. Even Andrew Mukuba, is he really a safety, or do we like him at inside or slot? Are we gonna move Cooper DeJean? Even though I know it's a lot of reports out there saying we're not, but if you really decide to do it and you believe Andrew Mukuba is a better slot corner, you can do something there. You can really do something there because you got a lot of guys that can do everything, and I like that because it doesn't expose you to no weakness. Because some teams will be like, okay, I'm gonna try to get the safety to line up against the tight end because we know safeties usually can't cover, but that's not for Andrew Mukuba. He can cover. Okay, we want to get Quinyon Mitchell on the inside. Let's do a motion because they're man to man. But we know Quinyon can play inside. Okay, let's try to get Cooper DeJean on the outside. We know Cooper DeJean can play outside. So again, there's really no weakness because you could move so many pieces around. So Vic Fangio, I get it. I love the versatile things that you're doing, but that's all I got for you guys today. Hey man, what do you think? How do you feel? How y'all feel about Andrew Mukuba? Be honest with me. I know a lot of you guys are 50-50 on this one. Jihaad Campbell, am I off on that? We'll see. Y'all let me know. But this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.